really used to being independent, and it feels like it's happening slowly, but it's so that makes it kind of more noticeable, like, oh, suddenly I can't do this, or I have to stop and take breaks or ask people for help. And that's really hard for me. My name is Kristen. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I was diagnosed January 27th of this year, 2025, with small cell lung cancer. My life is actually pretty amazing. I mean, I am dying, but it's actually the best time of my life, surprisingly. I was playing tennis. I usually play tennis. It's not a new sport or hobby for me. I mean, I had taken a break, but on the tennis court, I was having really bad shortness of breath, like not able to run across the court or do anything that was making me really sick. And I went actually to see the cardiologist because I have actually have a heart condition. Long story short, but 20 years ago I had open heart surgery, and so we thought the shortness of breath was related to that. Um, I actually had been seeing him for like 3 months. And once I went to urgent care because I woke up, I was having really bad shoulder pain. They diagnosed me with costochondritis. I mentioned it to my PCP. I like 3 months I saw doctors and nobody did a chest X-ray ever. And one night in late January, I'd already not been feeling well, but I woke up having like severe right-sided pain. And I told my friend, I said, I have to go to the ER. And she took me and they did a chest x-ray and they discovered the right lung was pretty much collapsed because the tumor was, they called it a Pancoast tumor. And then they admitted me to the hospital from there, and it went, further testing and biopsies, CT scans, and then that's when they discovered that it was the small cell lung cancer, which is a non-curable cancer. Part of the hindrance is I have a pacemaker, and so I can't have any MRIs. So they keep wanting to like order these MRIs, but we're having to go based on CT scans. But they just did the liver biopsy because that's where they found. So the initial masses were in my chest, my liver, and my abdominal wall. So they did a biopsy of the liver. We have something that's called my chart, and you can see the results. They automatically populate and say you have them. Also, I am a nurse, and I've been a nurse for 14 years. So, like in the ER, when the doctor put the chest X-ray up on the, you can see the clear. My right lung is, there's something there. So we knew right away. So it's kind of it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. It's I can see everything that's happening basically in real time. My test results, and I guess part of me wasn't that surprised because I knew something was wrong. For months, I've known something was wrong. I shouldn't be this age and be having this much problems of just doing things I love, playing tennis, swimming, stuff like that. But I also have a family history of my dad and my Aunt Carla have both died from lung cancer. And I was a smoker, unfortunately, for most of my life. I started smoking when I was 15 and I'm in my 40s. So I had quit smoking that week. But, at this point it was too late. So I didn't have, I guess, a typical reaction that people think of. I guess I was kind of accepting so far. I think I haven't fully. There have been times that I processed, but I don't know the reality of the situation at the time. It just seemed all surreal, I guess, is the way that it was. It wasn't like a holy crap moment. It was like okay, this is happening. Now what do we do? So they started chemo right away when I was in the hospital. And I completed 5 rounds altogether. I'm actually done with chemotherapy. She said it's no, and the purpose of that was to shrink the tumors. And they also did immunotherapy. They added that like 3 weeks in. But in the hospital, I had 5 doses of radiation on my chest to help my breathing and help try to shrink that tumor. And at this point, the treatment that I'm going under, I finished chemotherapy. We unfortunately had to stop immunotherapy. I was having some really bad side effects of shortness of breath. So currently that's on hold and I'm on a bunch of steroids. But we hope to restart it in July. And that's supposed to help the tumors in the organs and hopefully I can tolerate it. I wasn't tolerating it. And then, yeah, so the plan right now is I'm going to do a shot. It's called, oh, I don't know how to pronounce it anyway, but it's a bone shot because my cancer, the chemotherapy did what it was supposed to do in regards to make the tumors in the organs smaller, but my cancer is actually spread to my bones. And so now I'm going to be starting on a shot that is for bone mets. And it's like a protective shot. And I'm going to be hopefully restarting the immunotherapy, which is to help support the good cells. The shot is once a month and then immunotherapy. And potentially radiation. I'm undecided about that because I I have to go back to work in July. I haven't been working, but I have to go back. So it's going to, it's undetermined. It's a maybe. The side effects when I was on chemo, I had this really bad rash from radiation on my chest. It about drove me up the wall. And then I got a lot of nausea. Um, I could not, there were periods that I couldn't eat. I couldn't taste nothing. I lost my hair after the second round of chemotherapy and like some generalized fatigue. Some days I just couldn't get out of bed. And those were the main side effects. The hardest challenge for me is losing like bits of my independence. I'm single. I don't have any kids. I've actually been traveling like the last 7 years, living life, doing, you know, adventuring and stuff. And now it's things like I had a cramp in my like right hip. I don't want to say the other word for it, but and I wanted to go to the store and I had to wait for someone to take me to the store because I was afraid to drive because it's my right leg. And so, or things like having to rely on other people so much. I'm really used to being independent and it feels like I'm kind of losing. It's happening slowly, but it's so that makes it kind of more noticeable like, oh, suddenly I can't do this or I have to stop and take breaks or ask people for help. And that's really hard for me. I have an amazing community of people. I am I live with my best friend. Like I live in like what's called a mother-in-law suite and she lives upstairs, but she's a nurse also and she is here, you know, through the whole thing. But I have all my family lives here in Georgia and I am a creator on BookTok and they have really come together and made so many amazing things happen in my life. They're just supporting me and sending me books or gifts or um, helping with some financial aspects. It's been an amazing. The book talk community is just outstanding. It's a little crazy because I said, God, you know, I wanted to really step away from bedside nursing, but I was like, this is not how I wanted to go about it. Um, I haven't been allowed to work the last 6 months because in January, flu and RSV was really high, and the doctor was like, one little cold could kill you. But my work has been amazingly supportive. And I previously had worked oncology, And it's actually one of my favorite fields. Cancer patients are actually some of the best patients that you can get to know. They are like just appreciative of the care that you're giving. And in my perspective, chemotherapy oncology nurses are actually more happy with their work. So you get a really good sense of like community and caring, especially because you're there. Like I'm there every week. And when I was doing chemotherapy, I was there 3 days a week. So you really get to know them. It's not like in a hospital setting where you're like in and out and they don't really know you. So I'm really, really grateful for all the nurses and doctors. They were very on top of it. They were very communicative in the hospital. Um, you kind of get a little stigma being a nurse and a patient because you're like, oh, if as soon as you say, oh, I'm a nurse, there's a little bit of a stigma behind it, like a stereotype of, we're really bad patients, and oh, she's gonna be that person of think she's a know-it-all, if that makes sense. But I really have not experienced that. Many of them have taken in consideration that I'm not just not regular patient, but that I do understand what they're talking about, and they don't talk to me like I don't understand the concept. So it's all been really, really good so far. My old self was actually super introverted and not letting a lot of people in and just keeping to myself and doing my own thing. And this has really forced me to allow people into my world. And there's nothing, I wouldn't want to go back to how I was before the diagnosis, honestly. It's okay to let people in. It's okay to accept help. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be mad. You feel all the feelings that you feel and you let it out and you process it. And then you take a deep breath and you say, okay, what's the next step? So let yourself feel it and then say, okay, I felt it. I did it. What's the next step? Just try to remain positive and let people help you. I think the biggest thing I would want to add is it's your body, it's your journey. You know how you feel. Do not let other people influence you and take away your autonomy or your decision making in this journey. You're the one having to go through it. You're the one suffering through it. And as much as other people may want you to do something, you need to try to advocate for yourself and make decisions for yourself because you're the one that has to go on this journey.